I was thinking about Trey Lance. And
Okay.
so three things I was thinking about, three things that can't be taught: size, athleticism, and what was the other one? Well, mostly size and
How about the
athleticism.
speed? Well, that's part of it. Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
yeah, the
That's
speed,
part of it. Yeah.
but the footwork. The
Okay.
footwork, because I was big on Kyle Trask as well.
Okay.
And but then the more I started watching Kyle Trask and the more I started watching who was it,
Lance.
Mond.
Oh, Mond.
No, Mond, I started thinking like they look good, but they seem a little robotic. Like I just seen in the NFL to where I could see them just not being as effective.
Fair.
Um,
There's
it
something
kind of
certainly stiff about Mond, right? He's like,
yeah, it
he's a little
reminded
stiff. Yeah.
it reminded me of Steph Curry a little bit in a weird way. That one play where Steve Kerr's like, no, 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 don't shoot it. He shoots it
Yeah.
and he hits it. And
Yeah.
Steve Kerr learned, hey, I got
Yeah.
to back off of this guy. So it reminds me of Lance. Like we could almost be doing the same thing. Like, no, 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 don't do it. Oh, wait, hold on. This dude's a star.
Yeah.
Like there were a lot of calls, or there were a lot of plays where you just shake your head. But
That's the truth. He can do things. You're like, wow, man, that's an
but then there were
throw.
also some plays where someone's in his face, he's backing up, and I mean lasers it. You know,
he's got A+, A1 athleticism. Let me just tell you real quick my concerns. I wouldn't have them if you could take him in round 2, but in round 1, I got to bring up questions. So my questions with Lance are, and I think I actually like him better than Fields. I think Lance has better mechanics, better throwing mechanics, and is a better runner. I think he's more creative as a runner. My question with Lance is like, he'll have games at North Dakota State, which is like the Alabama of Division II football. It's a serious team that's way better than theirs. So anyway, he'll have games where he'll be like 13 to 15 with 4 touchdown passes and like 15 passes the whole game. And with the way they structure things is basically one read, and if it's not there, run. I'm not saying he can't go through progressions. That's just how they use them, because do you really want him going through progressions, or do you want in college, or do you want to be like, hey, dude, run? Because when he ran, I mean, God, he's like the most athletic player on the field. He's crazy, man. He's like, I don't know. I couldn't tackle that guy. I wouldn't want to tackle him.
And the more I started thinking about it, I started thinking about Tom Brady, Jerry Rice, and Steph Curry. 3 of the things I feel like they have in common is they work harder than anybody.
True.
And they got that heart. They got that fire, which helps them work harder than anybody.
Yes.
So I started looking who in that draft is there's someone that's gonna work harder than anybody.
Who's obsessed with improving and not just like making money or being famous.
Someone has that chip on their shoulder, and I don't see it from Zach Wilson. I don't want to say too much about him, but I think he seems very spoiled to me, where I come from.
People held that against Josh Rosen. What about Zach Wilson, man? What about Zach? Zach Wilson's like Rosen on steroids. Keep going.
And so with those being said, man, heart has a lot to do with it. I mean, I don't know any of these guys personally, but I feel like Lance could be one of those guys that just wants to work harder than everybody to just
because he's worked so hard to get here. I mean, he's in kind of an obscurity anyway.
I feel like it's almost an advantage of him going to a small school and having less reps, because we've only seen a little bit of what he can do. Now I look at someone like Mond, we could say it's an advantage that he's been there for 3-4 years, but we've seen
a little bit more defined.
We've seen a lot more of what he can do. I mean,
Lance is like, he might just be a freaking baller in the right situation with a little.
I was watching, people say, watching highlights isn't watching film, but I watched as much as I could from any source I could get. Yeah. And then I just started watching everybody's feet. I just started,
that's cool.
Not the runs, not on the run plays when they're passing. I started watching how they're avoiding pressure, what they do when pressure comes. And I just started looking at everybody's feet for just hours, the top 7 prospects. And man, I feel like the 49ers have to move up, take a shot like Steph Curry did. And just, Steph Curry could have got benched if he didn't hit some of those shots, but he didn't. He turned
I
that.
don't think they got to move up for Lance. Lance, to me, I think people are scared because he didn't play this year. He might just be there at 12. Think about that.
I would take the shot. Hey, look,
Okay.
Steph Curry turned that organization from 300 million to how many billion?
Yeah.
Hey, Lance might not be that, but what if he is?
Yeah.
Then it's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, we missed on Mahomes and Lance.
That's the thing. That's the thing. You going to do it again? I'm not sure if he's Mahomes or Allen, but he might be because he's probably the most physically gifted quarterback in the draft. Maybe even more. Who do you like? Real quick before I let you leave. Who do you like better, Fields or Lance? Say they're both available when the Niners pick at 12.
I've went back and forth. I feel like the Niners like Fields more, but I would go Lance.
I think I like Lance. He's less experienced, but I think his mechanics are better. Fields, what Chris Sims said about the long throwing motion, that scares me. He's like, that's the same thing Cardell Jones had.
I've seen times where blitzes were coming and it just looked. I just feel like Lance at some certain points in times was able to still laser it in. He might be.
I think he's got a quicker release, and so which is helpful. So when you're under pressure, you don't have you can't do the whole wind up when you're off your back foot, dudes in your face. You need to make the snap throw like you're a shortstop, and Lance can do that better than Fields.